Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about a fisheye lens for your Micro Four Thirds body camera. I've been on the market for one of these for a real long time. Now the thing is that there have been some out there that I was interested in getting, but the price is just way more than what I wanted to pay for that. So I kept looking and looking, and finally I found this one that was below $100. And I haven't really seen too many videos online about it, so I decided to go and give it a shot and try it. And I am overall fairly impressed. The one I'm talking about is the Pixco 8mm CCTV lens with its adapter, and it's a C-mount lens. This thing will fit onto your Micro Four Thirds body camera. I am using it with my Panasonic G85, not right now since I have it here in my hands, but I have tried it out, and I will be showing you some test footage after I give my spiel or my information about this lens for you to take a look at and see for yourself on how well this lens does perform. So just to give you some information about this lens, it does go for less than $100. I would say that you can get it for about anywhere from $50 to about $80 depending on where you get it from. There are quite a few sites out there that are selling these lenses. And at first I was a little bit cautious getting this lens. I wasn't sure if it was worth paying the price for something like this, because I mean these are those types of lenses that are manufactured in great amounts, like in China, and they just stick some random name on it. In this case, this one's called the Pixco 8mm lens. I have seen this other name on there. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I did see another one out there on the market. So where you can get this one from is Amazon. I've seen it on eBay, on AliExpress, and what I want to do is I will leave a link in the description on where to get this one. In terms of the lens itself, it is a 3.8 aperture, and higher it goes up to 16. It is a full manual lens, so that means that there's no image stabilization. The aperture is controlled with the ring here, as well as the focus is manual focus as well. Now, since there isn't any image stabilization on the actual lens itself, you do have to rely on your camera to support that, in case you do want to take it with you and hand hold the camera and record things like that. Now, if your camera does have in-body image stabilization, that won't really be a problem, but if it doesn't, then I would recommend using some sort of a tripod stabilizer, something to stabilize your shot. In terms of the actual lens itself, it is made out of metal, full metal body construction, which is pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. In terms of what it comes with, it's just the lens, a rear lens cap, the front lens cap. It does have this like small little leather pouch, which, well, faux leather. It's not real leather, it's just like this plastic type pouch, but it kind of looks like leather. You can use it if you want. I'm just going to stick this in my camera bag and just take it with me that way. Now, one of the downsides to this, and I'm going to start with that first, that way I get that out of the way, is that the front lens cap doesn't really want to stay on. It's very, very, very loose. So you can actually stick it on and rotate it, and it just easily pops out. So what I'm thinking about doing is probably just getting a rubber band and just tying it around, so that way it stays in place and protect it that way. Because you don't want this coming off by accident, and you don't want the lens to get scratched at all. In terms of the so that's pretty much the negative. The downside is just the lens cap. But overall, I would say that I would rate this lens an 8 out of 10, just because of some of the value that is involved with this lens, that comes with this lens. For example, it is full metal, so that's pretty awesome. It's got some good weight to it. The aperture going down to 3.8, it's not too bad. I mean, it is a wide angle lens. Yeah, I mean, overall I'm pretty happy with it. Also, another thing was that when I bought this lens, right before receiving it, I was kind of concerned about it. It is a CCTV lens, it is a C-mount lens, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna be using one of my adapters from one of my other CCTV lenses onto this lens. I did make a video a while back, probably about a month or so ago, in regards to CCTV lenses on the Micro Four Thirds body. You do need an adapter to mount those on there, and when I ordered this one, I was thinking that I would have to use that same adapter to mount this one onto the G85. Well, that wasn't the case. When I got this one, it actually came with the adapter built into the actual lens itself, So you could just pretty much open up the box, mount it onto your camera, and you're pretty much good to go. The adapter, I think it's like fixed on permanently. It's like real difficult to like move and like take it off. I don't want to risk taking it off. I don't want to break anything. But yeah, it already comes with the adapter, so that's a big plus right there. In terms of the like little mini lens hood that comes on the front, it does wiggle a little bit, at least on mine. Not sure if you can take it off or not. I don't want to risk it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it on. I don't really mind, and it does a decent job, but just be careful, don't point this at the sun, you'll probably get flares. I haven't tried that yet, but with any lens, that's what's gonna happen. So earlier today, I went out to this little trail that's up by the hills, by the mountains, and I just did some walking around, testing out the lens with the Panasonic G85 and seeing how it performs. So what I did use to mount to hold the camera was this little tripod right here. This is a Kingjoy KT200. It's a very small, compact tripod. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description of where to get one of these. It's pretty cool because this is all aluminum. It's got a good weight to it as well. Collapsed, it's around 10 inches, and when you fully extend it, it does go for like about 20 something inches, so that's pretty cool. Legs do come out, but I mean, it's pretty cool because it's small. You can just go ahead and mount your camera on there and just kind of like hold it in front of you if you want to do some vlogging, or if you want to sit on the table and just do some recording, you can. So that's a pretty cool tripod, but that's pretty much it for this lens. All the information will be in the description, and the second part of this video, or the remaining of the video, will be the actual demonstration of how the lens performs out in the real world. And after that, that's basically it. I would recommend this lens. It was a risk, but it's definitely worth it. This is my second lens. The first one that I got a week ago, I was going to make a video on it last week, but what happened was that when I got the lens, always test your lenses. What happened was that I received it, I mounted it onto the camera, and I started, testing it, seeing if there's any issues with it. What happened was that if you change it to the highest stop, which is like the f16 f-stop, I noticed that there was some debris on it, some dust inside the actual lens elements. I made sure the front was clean. I made sure the back was pretty clean as well. And there was like a speck of dust on the top left corner of the on every image. So I had to return it and do an exchange for this one. So always check your lenses. I guess that was a downside, but I mean, for less than $100, that's pretty much what you get. Just gotta inspect it carefully and go from there. So always inspect your lenses. So here's the video, the sample footage that I shot earlier today, and I do want to thank you for watching. Take care and have a great day. So so this is what it looks like when I'm filming myself as I'm walking through this small little trail. It's actually not that bad. Right now I'm holding the camera about, I would say, about a foot away from me, so it's not really, I'm not really stretching out my arm right now as we speak. It's more of a kind of close. I have a small little tiny tripod holding it up right now, which I'll link to in the description of what I'm using. I'll probably show some pictures of that and some clips. But yeah, I mean, right now it is about a foot away. In terms of the f-stop itself, I bumped it up to around, I would say it's around 10 right now. If you put it on the fastest stop, it's going to be pretty bright. ISO is at 200 right now, and I try to focus it as best as possible, but it's pretty bright out here, so it's kind of hard to see the screen itself. But we'll see how it turns out. Right now I'm just going to show you a sample of what it looks like. Oh, I am shooting at 24 frames a second. Shutter is at 50 right now. Arm's getting a little bit tired, so I'm going to switch it off to the other side. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm getting a pretty good shot right now. Also, the lens is fairly compact as well, so that's a real big plus right there. Let's see, where can we go? Now, there is no image stabilization on this lens. So if you have a camera that does not have in-body image stabilization, you might not be in trouble, but you might want to use a tripod or be real steady or use some sort of a glide cam. you know, some sort of a rig to stabilize your shot. But with the G85, it does have in-body stabilization, so it does keep your shot pretty steady. I gotta get back into shape. I'm going a little bit of an uphill right now, and talking and trying to maintain my breath is a little challenging right now. So yeah, so here we're just walking. I don't want to get too far from my car. I didn't bring any water with me. I should have. It's pretty dumb of me for not to do that. But yeah, this is what it looks like. In the background, you might see the Sandia Mountains here in New Mexico. And oh, by the way, the audio is being recorded on my Tascam with which is in my pocket right now. And just a cheap little microphone, clip-on mic that's on my shirt right now. Nothing major. And I do have the camera about a foot away from my face right now. I'm not sure if it seems like it for you guys, but with the fisheye wide angle lens, you're able to not hold the camera as far away as, well, you don't have to hold it as far to get a wide shot. You can hold it pretty close. And especially if you're around people, you're in crowds, you're like in a populated area, you don't want to be walking around with your arms stretched out. Might be good for you to get your shot, but probably inconvenience a lot of people out there. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.